Okay, so we're on our last section of monomials and exponents, and this section is about powers of monomials. So that just means that you're going to have a monomial. So, for example, you have this monomial that's x to the a power, and then you have that whole monomial raised to the b power. And so all you do is you keep the same base. So x would be my base. And then I take the power of the monomial and multiply it times its like second power, right? So I would just do whatever a times b was as my exponent. So let's look at a couple examples with numerical bases, with bases with numbers. So number one, its base is 8, so the base is going to stay 8. And then I just take this exponent of 2 and the exponent of 5, and I multiply them together to get 10. So your answer would be 8 to the 10th power. Okay, so let's look at number 3. So looks like my base is going to be 4 because that was already my base. And then I take this exponent of negative 2 and multiply it times this exponent of 2. Well, negative 2 times 2 is 4, is negative 4. Okay, well, we know that we cannot have a negative exponent. So we change it so it looks like a fraction and we put 1 over 4 to the positive 4. Okay, let's look at number 5. So my base is going to be what? Think in your head. It should be 10 because that's what my base already is. And then I take this exponent and I take this exponent and I just multiply them together. Negative 3 times negative 7 is positive 21. So my answer would be 10 to the 21st power. Okay? So let's look at a couple of examples where the bases are variables. So look at number 7. My base is going to be x because that's what it already is. And then I'll look at this exponent, which is 9, this exponent, which is 3, and that'll be x to the 27th power. And that's it. So let's look at let's look at 8. Its base is going to be a. I have an exponent of 2 and an exponent of 7. I multiply 2 times 7 and I get 14. So my final answer will be a to the 14th power. Look at number 9. My base is going to be a k. And then I have an exponent of 4, an exponent of negative 5. 4 times negative 5 is negative 20. Okay, so what's wrong with this? We are not supposed to have a negative exponent, so I've got to change it so it's a fraction, and I put 1 over k to the positive 20. That would be my final answer. Let's look at number 10. So number 10, it's got two variables, okay? So we should know that beside this c, I have an exponent of 1, okay? So the first thing I'm going to deal with is c, and I have to the first power and to the fourth power. So I multiplied those two together. 1 times 4 is 4. So I have c to the fourth. Well, now I need to deal with this d, right? And I have d to the second power, but then I also have that to the fourth power. So I need to multiply 2 times 4, and I get 8. So my final answer would be c to the fourth, d to the eighth. Okay? Number 11. It also has two variables. So I'm just going to deal with the m part first. So I have m, and m has a negative 2 as its exponent, but then it's also to the third, right? Because it's inside parentheses. So negative 2 times 3 is negative 6. Okay, now I need to deal with the n part. So I have n to the 8th power, and that's all to the third power. So I multiply 8 times 3, and I get n to the 24th power. Okay, so this is where it's a little bit different. I cannot have this negative 6 as as a negative. okay? So I need to change it so that it looks like a fraction. So I know I need to move that m to the negative 6 to the bottom and have m to the positive 6. Okay, well, this n to the 24th, that's already positive. Okay, so you just leave it on top as n to the 24th. And then your final answer would be n to the 24th over m to the 6th. Okay, let's do a couple of problems with coefficients. So coefficients, are these big numbers or these regular numbers that are in front of our variables or whatever. Okay, our coefficients are going to behave like regular numbers have always behaved. Okay, so I'm going to do 3 to the second power. 3 to the second power is just 3 times 3, right? 3 times 3 is 9. So 9 becomes my new coefficient, right? Then I have to deal with x to the 7th, and then that is also to the second. So now I multiply 7 times 2, and I get x to the 14th. So your final answer should be 9x to the 14th. Okay, look at 14. So the first thing I have to deal with is this coefficient of 5. So I have 5, and then on the outside of the parentheses, I have this 3. So 5 to the third power, which is 5 times 5 times 5, is going to be 125. So that's my new coefficient. Then I have to deal with this n to the fourth. So I have n to the fourth, and that's all to the third power. So I multiply my exponents together, right? So I'm going to have n, and then 4 times 3 is 12. So I have 125 n to the 12th. Okay? Let me know if you guys need any help. Email me, shoot me a message, let me know. I hope you guys are doing good. See you later.